All right, thanks, Ron. The former police chief of Storm Lake, Iowa, who currently works for the Sioux City Diocese and is a board member of the National Immigration Forum in Washington, D.C., believes immigration and changing demographics in Siouxland is good for communities. KTIV's Clayton Anderson joins us in studio after talking to the former chief of police. Clayton, what did Mark Prosser have to say about all this?
Yeah, Larry, Mark Prosser spoke to the Sioux City Rotary Club today over the lunch hour. He said during his term of chief of police, he saw a shift in the demographic landscape of the town, and he says places like Sioux City are seeing that as well. He said in his mind, communities need to embrace people speaking different languages and with different culture, and the growth is good for business, churches, and communities as a whole.
The pros far outweigh the cons when the demographics of a community shifts and they have a growth in immigrant population in the communities. They bring a youth, they bring a vibrancy, they bring a workforce, they enhance school enrollment, they enhance church participation. And in my experience previously, before I came to Sioux City for 30 years in Storm Lake, found that it was just a great blessing for that community.
Now, this legislative session, Governor Kim Reynolds signed an act to law that would allow law enforcement to have more ability to act on illegal immigration. They will now be able to arrest an undocumented immigrant who was previously deported or had been denied entry to the country. Governor Kim Reynolds issued a statement regarding the new law, which in part says those who come into our country illegally have broken the law, yet Biden refuses to deport them. In her statement, she went on to state the bill gives Iowa law enforcement the power to do what he is unwilling to do, enforce immigration laws already on the books. Prosser says from his experience in law enforcement, immigration enforcement should be a federal responsibility.
Our local police departments, our local churches, our local businesses, they're here to help the people in our communities and in our offices and in our churches. And if they believe in our communities that local law enforcement is involved in immigration enforcement, that will push people into the shadows.
The new Iowa law states an officer may not arrest or detain a person at a public or private school, a church, or any places of worship, a healthcare facility, or a facility for forensic medical examinations to sexual assault survivors. Prosser said in his time in Storm Lake, there was never a disproportionate representation of criminal activity by ethnicity, and when he was leaving to retire, crime was at a 25-year low.